I am fucking I need to show this to you guys, man. I need to show this to you because this is the first fucking thing I saw when I opened X. When I opened X today, this is the first thing I saw. Dear players, important message. XDefiant is sunsetting. And what was more incredible was this. By the way, Mark Rubin used to be with Call of Duty, Activision, and he then joined Ubisoft. And he was basically, he's still the executive producer on XDefiant. And this message is truly heartbreaking. Yeah, I was just getting into this game. It was so fucking good. It was like a breath of fresh air from that Call of Duty Black Ops 6 bullshit. For the first 2 weeks, Call of Duty was fine. Then I think the AI model started kicking in. And anyway, this was a breath of fresh air, man. To be honest, I was having a lot of fun playing this game. The only thing that was not funny, well, actually, was not fun, was the matchmaking. But it was okay. I mean, fucking 13 hours in the game. That's it. I just got into it last Friday. And look at this. Starting today, new downloads and player registrations will no longer be available. We will still release our Season 3 in the near future, God knows when. And the servers will remain active until 3rd of June 2025. For those of you who purchased the Ultimate Founders Pack, you will receive a full refund. Players who made any purchases within the last 30 days will also be fully refunded. But you know what was more interesting was what he said here. We embarked on a bold adventure to develop a new arcade shooter. It was from the start an incredible challenge. Not only were we trying to shake up the genre by removing SBMM while bringing back a more old school arcade shooter experience, we were also diving into the high risk, high reward realm of free to play. And for that, I want to applaud not just the dev team but the Ubisoft leadership for taking that chance. Now, I appreciate this guy saying that because this thing here, it needs to be iterated a million times. I like the fact that these guys focused quite heavily on removing SPMM, which was really good. The fact that the leadership decided to just shut down the game after so much of effort, so many hours were put into the game, that's, to me, it sounds ridiculous. They shut down Ubisoft San Francisco and also the Tokyo studio in Japan. 2 studios shut down. Apparently, these guys are in $2 billion of debt. It's a European-based company and their stocks are tanking. So they decided to just shut down and fire people. Some of them are moving to other projects within the company. But this is really sad news, man. This is terrible news. I don't know why they're so closed-minded. They're sticking to their launcher. They just want people to come in there. It's not going to work. For a free-to-play game, you have to go where the customers are. Okay, I am in marketing, and this is just basic marketing 101. There is 4 P's in marketing. What it means is you have to go where the customer is. You have to price what the customer wants the price to be. And that's how you basically get your shit out to the market. Are you saying that I'm going to put this game on my launcher where there are 2 people playing and then I'm expecting this game to succeed? Never fucking going to happen. I really wish that before they decided to shut down this game, they would have released this on Steam. And that would have been maybe their ventilator approach. But it could have revived this game. Second, the battle pass, the coins to purchase the battle pass were ridiculously expensive. You can get like 3 indie games for that price. I mean, or if you save that money 3 times, you can buy a fucking AAA game. So those 2 things, I think, I don't know what they were thinking. But I think the leadership was not on the same page as this guy, Mark Rubin, who was trying to build this game to compete with Call of Duty. and maybe even Battlefield, or maybe even Apex Legends to an extent, because all of them except Battlefield, they have SBMM. And this seems to be a PR sentence. This is everywhere. The journey became too much to sensibly continue. Ooh, I mean, you just released the fucking game. You were only 2 seasons in. Are you saying that you didn't predict, the leadership didn't predict that it would take at least 4 seasons or 3 seasons for the player base to kick in? That's how FTP works. The fourth thing is they could have actually had an upfront payment for the game, like how Battlefield has. You know, just have some access limitation, man, like Counter-Strike Prime or something like that, right? Maybe remove the free-to-play altogether, make the game ridiculously cheap so people buy, you get some revenue for that player, and make the battle pass cheap. So 4 things they fucked up in these 4 areas. But unfortunately, for us now, we are losing a really good game, I think. Assassin's Creed Shadows. If that game tanks, I think this studio is probably going to look for buyers. And I have a feeling that it'll probably be Elon Musk who is going to buy this studio, or we'll probably see some Chinese company buy the company, buy Ubisoft. That's going to happen. All of these publishers need to focus on publishing their game instead of making their own fucking launchers. Nobody cares. You have GOG, you have Steam. These guys have such an amazing player base. Why do you think that if you have 7 games in your portfolio, you can have a launcher and then people will come and play? That is ridiculous, man. I can understand Activision, Bethesda. Those guys, they were different studios. All of them purchased each other. You know, this became one giant fucking conglomerate under Microsoft. Even there, I have a feeling that all those launchers are going to go away pretty soon, and we'll be left with just the Battle Pass, the Game Pass. That will be the interface to launch all of these games. All of these launchers are probably going to go away. That's what I think. Again, man, something is terribly wrong with FPS arcade shooter games. There are 2 mentalities right now that I think developers have to deal with, and these developers are not extremely young or extremely old, right? There's a pretty nice balance of age. The old school, like me, are thinking, give me a fun shooter where skill, maps, and progression makes sense, right? Like every gunfight means something, every interaction is memorable, and the maps are strategic, tactical. You know, that's the kind of games that we've grown up playing, like Quake 3 Arena, Unreal Tournament, Counter-Strike. All of these games have the tactical thing. The skill is important. Learning how the game works is important. How the weapons function. So those things are important. And then there's fucking this place where we have, I'm looking to grind camos. I'm looking to grind this skin. I want that thing on my fucking character. So people are more interested in grinding some shit. And that's the problem they have. The game doesn't have content for them to grind at all. So what's happening here is developers are focusing on this area. And no wonder we have things like SBMM coming in. Because look, if you need to grind, the game needs to make it so that you're able to grind, right? It has to manipulate somebody else's experience so you are able to grind whatever you want. And all of them are able to do the same thing. So grinding has become more important than actual gameplay, actual skill. Man, all I want is these shitty corporate suits at these studios making these microtransactional decisions, these algorithmic shit. They need to fucking be thrown out and let the devs actually make the game. I think they know exactly what they want, what players want, and monetization is not an issue if the game is good. What's happening is the opposite. They're trying to make everything to monetize the game while manipulating the actual game, which is really sad. But you know what? There is a there's like a saying, when something gets ridiculous to a point where it goes to the extreme, then it will start dying, or there will be an alternative. I really want these guys like Mark Rubin and the team to basically get out of Ubisoft, buy the IP or take the IP from them, or even if they don't, go and crowdfund. People will fucking pay to get an FPS arcade shooter like XDefiant. I would do it. Yeah, it's really sad to see this game go, man. I think it's just a gross mismanagement from Ubisoft. You know, all of these fucking corporate fuckers, you know what they do? They're really good at firing anyone else below them for the mistakes they do. And that's the sad part about all of these companies. The suits fuck up everything, and the rest of the people have to pay the price. They don't fire themselves. It's sad to see that they've literally announced that they're going to shut it down without even a thought that, look, let's launch this on Steam or something else, because it's not that difficult to get people to play. It's a free to play game. Bring down the cost of the battle pass coins, people will fucking play. I mean, look at Dota. There's literally so many MOBAs that are surviving simply because they know you have to keep the entry cost low for all the battle passes, the skins, and all of that stuff. Make it very affordable. Volume sales on F2P games is what's going to get you the revenue you're looking for. And that's actually what Delta Force is doing. But I don't know, man. Ubisoft, they have their head up their ass, to be honest. The game is literally on life support. I mean, it's dead. That we know. It was on life support. They decided to pull out the fucking the oxygen. And yeah, whatever. We kind of have to do the CPR now. Keep it going. Give it air. What it's if we have like 6 months. 6.5 if we consider this month. That's it. It's like someone is dying of cancer. There's no cure, and you just have so much time to be with them. That's a really shitty analogy, but that's how I'm feeling with this game. That's how much I've fallen in love with this in just 4 days.